Hi everyone and welcome to Lucy's Larking Adventures. We're just on the trail of this lovely stretch of water that you can see here. It's a lovely cold but sunny day here in southwest England. We've never been to this stretch of water before, so we're just going to try and follow the trail along and see if we can get in a bit further downstream, and hopefully there'll be some interesting stuff to find. So we'll head off now and we'll bring you back when we're there. See you in a second. Hi everyone, so here's a quick update for you. As you can see, we are now in the water, but I just thought I'd give you a quick update on our adventure so far, because sometimes it probably looks like we just get in the water and we hit pay dirt and find stuff straight away. It doesn't happen like that, and actually today is one of those days where we are in and it's shallow here, but it is pretty bare. There's nothing really to be found. We need to head further down that way because we know from looking over the banks down that way that there is stuff down there, but it is impassable past that sort of fallen tree down there, as in it's not even like wader deep, it's you need to swim really to get anywhere. So we're going to have to get back out again and back in, but there you go. I just thought I'd share with you the trials of a Lucy's Larking adventure, because I know that some of you have asked about sort of having a go yourself. I'll bring you back when we are in and there is stuff to be found. See you shortly. So before we move on, there are a couple of things that we've found here, and I'm going to show you this because, you know, if you watch my videos, sometimes I find teeth and jawbones. I've never seen anything like this though. Look at that. I wonder if anyone can help me identify what it used to belong to. It's pretty creepy, isn't it? Here's another quick update before we head off a bit further downstream. There are a couple of things to be found. Look, we found someone's lost their bait box, obviously, so Ryan's going to take that and clean it up. Still in pretty good nick. This is a bit of a, have a guess, what do you think this is? I genuinely don't know. Some sort of hinge or hook or something. I wonder what that is. You hear the birds in the background. An old shoe, which is always a good sign that there's stuff to be found. So hopefully a bit further downstream we'll find some stuff. Look at this. Still got all the signs of the old nails and everything in the bottom. And then look, just here on this little rocky bit, there is a bottle which says bath on it. Not much left of it, unfortunately. But hopefully some good hints of things a bit further down. So we're going to head off now and we'll bring you back shortly. See you in a sec. So we're a bit further along now. And we found a couple of interesting things to show you. Look, this is an old metal object, really heavy. It's definitely got that sort of hook design on, isn't it? Like it was intended to be some sort of tool or something. What do you think that was? I wonder how old it was. Excuse that noise in the background. And then there's this, which is interesting in itself. It's got something wrapped around it. Look, it's just obviously it's been there quite a long time. But it just looks like it was, you know, used to be something interesting. And I wonder if anyone could identify it after all this time. Let me know what you think. Hi everyone. So after quite an adventure, we finally managed to make it a little bit further up. And we're in a much more accessible place. The water is pretty clear. It's shallow in places, a bit deeper. Of course, it's that time of year, isn't it? So fingers crossed we're going to find some interesting stuff. And just as we've stepped in here, Ryan's found this, look. Isn't this lovely decorative little brass something? What is it, I wonder? Could have been the top of something. At first I thought it was some sort of weight or something, but it is hollow, so it was maybe a topper to something. So let me know what you think. That's a pretty neat find, isn't it? So hopefully we are here where all of the finds are. It's pretty lovely. Still quite a lot of daylight. And it's not actually that cold today either, which is great. So thanks for sticking with me. I'll bring you back and let you know what we can find. Look at this. This is the next interesting find. I think it looks like some sort of battery, some sort of electrical component. It's got all this wire wrapped around it. I wonder what it was. Either way, we'll get it out of the water. Oh yeah, look, that looks like a battery connection at the top actually, doesn't it? So hopefully a sign that there's some weird and wonderful stuff here to be found. Here's the first sign of bottles, which is always pretty good. So this looks like a sauce bottle, doesn't it? Of some description, no name or anything. It's got a pretty nice, almost Art Deco type design to it, hasn't it? So fingers crossed there'll be some more. Just did a little excavation of something that looked interesting from under, half buried in some rocks. And look at it. Absolutely love it. It's a little old brass clock. You can just see the remains there, look, of almost the numbers around the outside, some of them, and sort of what would have been the hands. Look at that little handle on the top, look. And some of the mechanism in the back. So I really love it. I think it's going to be a keeper, you know. We'll try and clean it up as best we can. I wonder how old it is and why it's ended up here. So definitely worth the perseverance to get here. I hope you like it too. Lots of broken bits of glass and bottle here. Some of them look pretty exciting. This is the second complete bit that I found. Look, an old jar. Might be a bit plain, but I think it's pretty cute. We're just under a bridge now, and there is a beachy bit. So want to come and have a look along here with me? I can see, look, you can see there's loads of broken bits of glass. Oh, look at this. This is neat. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. It's the bottom of something. That's quite sweet, isn't it? Little chip there. Just the tiny remnants of a, it looks like a maker's mark actually. Sort of remnants of stuff all over the place. Look at that. This one for the pocket. Just a bit loads of broken bits all in the sand. So I'll keep going, see if I can find any complete stuff. Or any little bits of pottery like that. Look, I do love those. The remains of a Hartley's jam jar at the bottom bit. So we'll bring you back shortly and catch you up. I've got a couple of finds to catch you up on. I found this really nice handle, look at that. Looking good, isn't it? And a lovely tiny bit of blue and white there. Look at that lovely pattern on it. Found the top of a bottle there with a stopper in it. Unfortunately it's beyond much use, and a sauce bottle. It's a shame here that so far there are so many signs of like really old bottles, but they're just absolutely bust. The only complete ones are sort of these more modern ones, but you know, I suppose they've had less time to kind of knock around the waterways, haven't they? So there's still hope. Fingers crossed for some more great ones. There's still more to come. Apologies that this is slightly gruesome, but we don't very often come across complete skulls, or you know, relatively complete. So it's a bit gruesome to find. I wonder what it was. A cow, I expect. Bit yuck, isn't it? But I thought you might be interested to see it. Here's a nice little find. Look, Oldham. Maybe the top of some sort of fuse or something. We found some sort of Lucas ones before. It's obviously some sort of tractor part or something, isn't it? But it looks pretty neat there, doesn't it? And I can see little chips of pottery here as well, so always nice to find those. Oh, look at this. Nice little pattern hidden under there, look. So definitely going to be worth a clean. Still lots and lots of broken bottle tops and that sort of thing, so keep our eyes peeled for some complete ones. Ah look, almost a guaranteed find, the first paste jar of today. It's quite a sweet little narrow one actually, isn't it? So I've just spotted an area that looks like it's got some little pottery finds. So I'm going to bring you with me and we can see if they're anything interesting. But the first one that I've pulled out on my way here, look at this. Isn't that fantastic? And who is that, I wonder? If you can name him, I'd be most grateful. Shame there's not a bit more of it, isn't it? But it's just a wonderful little remnant of something to find in the river, isn't it? Let's go on and see what the rest of the stuff is. This looks like it might have a bit of colour on it. Oh, that's quite thick. I think that's just a river sort of green actually, isn't it? Rather than a pattern. But this is not. Always a pleasure to see that, isn't it? So that's one for a clean up for sure. Green here. Oh, not pottery at all. Right, I don't know what that is. It looks like a tractor part to me, but it could be anything. Oops, sorry, I'm not very steady on my feet, hence I've not been filming sort of masses with the camera in my hand. Look. We've got one of these at home actually. This is an old battery case. Oh look, Oldham. An old acid battery case, glass. Bit bust there. But I think they're quite neat when they're sort of pretty complete, aren't they? So, quite pleased with that, actually. I just spotted a few bits of pottery. Let's see what they are. It's cute, isn't it? And then, is this a stone? Yes, it is. Okay, let's go across, see what else we can find. You can probably tell here that the bottom here is very deceiving. There are so many sort of leaves and in fact just rocks that look like exciting things. So it is pretty difficult to not pick up rocks and leaves. That is a bit of pottery, but it's just a plain piece, I think. And apologies that the video is a bit late this week actually. We were out on a Monday, which is not usual for us, but the weekend was just a bit busy and the weather actually wasn't great. It pretty much rained all day on Saturday, and yesterday it was very cold and it was just grey. So we wouldn't mind doing it normally, but we knew that we had the day off today, so we've saved it. Water's really calm here. It's odd, isn't it? It's almost glassy. It's really nice to be bringing you with me on these adventures. I really love sharing them with you. And I'm glad that you seem to enjoy them too. That definitely helps. There's the battery going back in my hand. Oh, look at this. A lovely little green edge. That's nice, isn't it? Little green pattern. Little handle. Isn't that adorable? So I've got a handful now, so I'll put you down and I'll bring you back and let you know what else I can find. See you in a sec. I'm just having a little sit down on a rock, feeling really peaceful. Look at it here. Great, isn't it? But I have got a little find. Just as I sat down on the rock, I saw a little coloured piece and I thought, I'll see what that is. And look at the colour, isn't it great? So it looks like some sort of handle, door handle or something, but the shape of it is confusing. So I wonder what it could have been. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that colour. It's lovely to pull that nice red colour out of the river, isn't it? So that's what drew me to it. I'm going to catch up on a few of Ryan's finds. He's pulled this out, look, made in England, crab tray, some sort of electrical part. I mean, I don't know, I'm not really qualified to say. But look, it's got the working still on the back, look. I wonder what it was. There's lots of this sort of stuff here actually, which is really interesting because you don't tend to find lots of this all in the same place. So it obviously tells a bit of a story, doesn't it, about the location. And I'll show you some more. And then in quite the same theme, look at this little piece. Stone wedged in it. Maybe it's all part of the same thing. Who knows? But it is always interesting to find bits that we sort of can't identify and that have just got a bit of intrigue to them. So maybe it looks like a bit of a lamp or something, doesn't it? Could that have been the... I don't know. Let me know what you think. Look at this. This is a little bowl of some description. And just on the outside, absolutely covered in murk. There's going to be a really lovely pattern under there, I think. It's unusual for me to find such a complete bit. I mean, I know you can't really use the word complete, can you, I suppose? But there's enough there, isn't there, to just see a little bit of that pattern. So I like it for that reason. And then just over here, I have also got a really lovely, I think this is probably a bit of a sort of serving plate or something by the shape of it. But look at this. Isn't that magnificent, that tree and just the top of that house there? That would have just been stunning, wouldn't it, in its day? Really grand. Taken centre place of something, I'm sure. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that too. I love the pictorial pieces. And I wonder if I can just get a bit of colour back on that when I clean it up. Ryan's found another complete bottle. Look at this. This is the Camp Coffee and Chicory Essence. Quite popular for us to find, but this is the sort of older one with that nice logo on the side embossed in the glass. And it's Patterson's. And it will say here, Glasgow, look. So we've got quite a little collection of those going now. And if you saw my last video, you'll have seen that we've also just brought the modern version from a supermarket just to sort of compare over time, which is quite cool, isn't it? I'm going to catch up again on a few more things. This looks like the top of a bell or something, doesn't it? So again, quite in keeping with the theme today of lots of little sort of metal objects. Oh look, there's the insides. And then a couple of other things here. So another battery case, a glass one. So again, we've got quite a collection of those coming now. So they'll look great, all cleaned up in the cabinet. This is pretty heavy. It feels like Bakelite. And it is pretty heavy. It's obviously got some workings inside of something. Some sort of electrical piece, isn't it? This I'm intrigued by. This is, feels like some sort of clay or porcelain or something. I wonder what it was. What an interesting shape. Let me know what you think about that. And then I've just found this as well, which is intriguing by its colour, because it looked like it might have been part of the thing that I just showed you, the sort of red colour. But you can just see it would have had a bit of a pattern on it. So I know it's a bit broken, but I might just take it home and clean it up and see if we can work anything out from it. Let me know what you think. Bit of a mixed bag here today. There's lots of different stuff. It makes a nice change actually from finding bottles. Nice to find some pottery again. Haven't had any sort of good pottery finds for a while, so that's pretty cool. And I'm just enjoying being out in the water, making the most of the mild weather as it is pretty much today. The water's a bit cold, but the weather's not too bad before, you know, winter really bites and stops us getting out at all. I'll bring you back soon. See you in a sec. Just look at this. Those of you that watch my videos will know I always get very excited to find these. They're not easy to come by in the sort of locations that I lark in. And I can just see a little clay pipe nestled there, just waiting for me to pick it out. Oh, and would you look at that? It's magnificent. How exciting. Look at the length of that bowl. What's really odd is that we've walked up and down here, haven't we, since we've been here, and we just haven't spotted it. And then Ryan just spotted it. Just nestled there, look, waiting to be discovered. Honestly, the excitement of finding these just never dies for me. How fantastic. So I think that overtakes the Cocker's find of the day. How exciting. Can't wait to get that home, clean it up and put it in my little collection. I know that on the Thames they're slightly more common. Not easy to come by, I'm sure, by any means, but they are really difficult. We hardly ever kind of spot them in our muddy brooks and streams, so the novelty definitely has not worn off for us. Yay! So I apologise that it's very dark and echoey. We are still under the bridge, only about 2 feet from where we found the clay pipe, and I've just seen and started digging this bottle. And you've seen already that I have not had any luck with bottles today. In fact, I've started to fill many a bottle for you and they've all been broken. I've got some high hopes for this one. Oh look, it is complete, yes. I wonder how old it is. Oh, look at the shape. It's pretty neat actually. Oh, it's a really nice find. I can't quite read what that says. Oh, do you know what? I think we found one of these just recently, but like a skittle, you know, a Hamilton bottle that doesn't stand up. So this is maybe a slightly more modern version of it, but look at it. We found so many tops like this today and so many bottoms that it's, sorry, Ryan wants to have a look, that it's just magnificent to find a pretty good complete one. And I think that says Matthew Millard from Trowbridge. So yeah, really pleased with that. How fantastic. This bridge has obviously got lots to offer for us. So that means I'm going to go and dig up other bits of bottle that I can see hanging out the sand, just in case there are any more complete ones. And I might even just go out there a little bit deeper in the murky bit, see what else I can find. See you in a sec. Look at this. Isn't this pretty neat? I wonder what it was from. Some sort of mechanism, isn't it? With those cogs and everything. It just looks great, doesn't it? It's really interesting here that there's so much of this sort of stuff to find, so we'll have to come back for sure. And I've just found one of these Lucas England tops as well. I think someone said they were fuses actually. We found a few of these before. So what's interesting here is that where we started off, there was nothing. It was pretty blank. There was not much to show you at all. A few things, including my great jawbone. And then we've had to come much further down to be able to get in. And here, apart from the magnificent bottle that we've just found, there are loads and loads of smashed bits of bottles, and they look like, you know, cod tops, some really old bits of bottle. So obviously somewhere in the middle is the source of all of that, and hopefully some great finds. The trouble is that it is just not very accessible. So it's one that we'll keep trying to find a way in. It might be that we have to wait until the better weather next summer or spring for the water levels to go down so that we can just wade through rather than try and get in over the top. Because we're obviously missing out on, I would imagine that pretty much further up, because everything's broken here, that'll be where the good stuff is. That theory may or not be correct, but it's definitely worth a try, isn't it? So we're just heading back up this way now. Look at these little queues of leaves. I find these really funny. They're like trapped behind rocks and just form little queues. So yeah, sorry, I just distracted myself with those. So yeah, we're heading back up this way now. We'll have a little lark as we go, see what we can find. and I'll let you know if we find anything. We're just about to head back home now with a few finds. It has been pretty much hard work today, quite an adventure. So it started off really slow. We managed to get in to a much more accessible place here, just a bit further down. And we found some really interesting stuff here actually, but we've definitely saved the star finds for last, which is good, so we can end on a high. But just as we're leaving, just have a look at this. There's a bridge just over here, look, fairly modern sort of road bridge. And then this here, and we were just wondering whether it's the remains of the sort of original bridge. It just looks interesting, doesn't it, the way that that side is built up. So what do you think? And let me just leave you with the last view of this wonderful place. It has been really peaceful and relaxing, and lots of interesting stuff to show you. So I'll do you a quick roundup when I get home. So here we are, we're back home, and I've just given a sort of quick clean to some of the finds that I've brought back with me. So let me just talk you through some of the best things that we found today. So I'll start at the front here, some really nice pottery finds. As I said earlier, I haven't found some good stock of pottery for quite a long time, and look, this is cleaned up beautifully. Look at that, just that sort of faded pattern around the edge. So really pleased with that. Some beautiful pieces along here, look. This guy. So they've all cleaned up really nicely. You can see the colour a bit better there, look. Including this one. This cleaned up much nicer than I expected actually. Look at that, isn't that great? So really pleased with my little patterned pottery pieces today. There's a really eclectic mix of stuff here, isn't there? It was a really interesting place to find sort of bits of all sorts really. So I'm still intrigued to see what this is. Ryan found this and it was really sort of dirty and grubby. This is this sort of ceramic something. I mean, I don't know what it is. What do you think? Let me know what you think that might be. This is the Lucas sort of fuse and the Oldhams. That top's cleaned up quite nice on that actually, hasn't it? A bit more to do. And then this, which you think maybe is a bottle stop, sort of brass. But let me know what you think that is. It's really nice, isn't it? My lovely little clock in the middle there. And look, the little handle on the top still works. Still moves, and you can just see now that we've sort of cleaned up a little bit, you can just see the shadow of the numbers, look, where they used to be. Ryan's going to try and give it a really good clean up, get all these bits out, and the back, look, using a sort of sonic cleaner, so hopefully that will clean up beautifully. This little cog I've brought just because it's so sort of arty, isn't it? There's just something about that I really like, so that's come home. This is another mystery object, so if you've got any ideas, let us know what you think that is. Some sort of electrical thing, I'm sure. And then we'll just go along the back and round. So the two battery cases that we found, looking pretty nice there, and a little paste jar, the only one that I found today, so that had to come home, of course. A sauce bottle here, and then the other side you can see the camp coffee bottle, and then if you just look at the back of my kitchen is the modern plastic version of that. But then right in the middle is the piece de resistance, which is the best bottle find of today. Really pleased with this one, and it kind of matches the Hamilton bottle that I found, sort of skittle shaped bottle that I found just a couple of weeks ago. It's from the same company, and interestingly enough I've been trying to do a bit of research on the company and I haven't been able to find anything, so yes, the intrigue continues, but I'll catch you up if I find anything else. A little glass jar here that's cleaned up quite nicely. It'd look nice with a little candle in, I think, wouldn't it? And then these two things here are also intriguing me. So you saw me find this and I thought it was a sort of red colour, and actually I thought it was some sort of handle. It is actually hollow, although I didn't realise at the time because it was so clogged up with stones. And then this piece, which I'm almost convinced is part of the same thing, it's the same colour, but it's got this really nice flower design on it, look. And I just can't quite work out how they would have gone together yet. You can see that this is sort of just half of something. So let me know what your thoughts are. Are they the same thing? Can you identify either of those pieces? But yeah, some really nice colours there, which is good. And then of course, Ryan's lucky spot, the wonderful clay pipe. Probably just needs a bit of a clean, but I'm not going to do too much to it. Isn't it magnificent? Always very exciting to find those. So that's pretty neat. That's going to go in the collection, as are most of these things. And you know, we were only saying a couple of weeks ago we haven't found a clay pipe for ages, so there you go. All of a sudden there it was, and that's just how it goes, I suppose, isn't it? So we'll try and age that and find out as much as we can about it, but let me know if you can help us out with that. So I really hope that you've enjoyed today's adventure. Thanks for sticking with us. And we're almost at 3,000 subscribers, so thank you to each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and please hit the notification bell to find out about my latest adventures. And don't forget, you can also find me on Facebook, Lucy's Larking Adventures, and Twitter and Instagram at Lucy Larking. I hope to see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.